Hello everyone, Railgan here with another CVT game. Today we're actually going to play against the AI, and I will give you guys a walkthrough through the new tree roach opener that I play since the corruptor buff. As always, we start off the game like we always do with drone into overlord. I will post a guide on Team Liquid about how I actually play this build with some more in-depth stuff that I'm not going to cover in this video. But for now it's an opener that goes drone, overlord drone, then 2 additional drones into a pretty quick pool. Always make certain that you have 2 drones in each mineral patch. Take one of these drones, make them into a pool. Then we build one more drone while we're at 16, putting us at 17 supply. And an additional drone and send that one to the gas. Overlord wise, the first overlord should scout whether my opponent is building two barracks or a barracks into a factory with a reactor. Let's see. Throw down the hatch, throw down the gas, and then I build 2 additional drones to 18 supply. The second drone gets rallied behind somewhere here. If this overlord scouts barracks with a reactor and a factory next to it, I know it's going to be Hellions. If I see a barracks with a reactor and no factory next to it, it's most likely the 16 marine drop or some kind of tree base play. What you should do next is go for a quick queen. I built 1 drone too many, but it doesn't really matter. You only put 1 drone in the gas at the start, and you build 2 additional links, then 2 additional drones to fill up the gas. And it should be at 22 out of 22. At that point you build an overlord, send the link somewhere along this side. You kind of want to evade the reaper that will usually walk somewhere here. Right now I'm building nothing because I'm supply blocked, but that's part of the build. Queue up an additional queen in the main base. The roach one is now done. Now I built 3 roaches, 2 roaches in my main base, 1 roach in my natural. There we go. Then I built 1 additional queen. The 2 lings are just supposed to do as much damage as they can, kill the SCVs or stuff like that. Then I built 2 additional drones and then an overlord. Send these 3 roaches across the map. Quick pause. Wait, let me pause here. If I saw a factory in this area, and if he knows that I went for the roaches, I will be a bit scared of cyclones. If he goes for cyclones, then I cannot send the roaches across the map because the cyclones will kill them. But if I see no factory, I can just send the roaches across the map and try to do as much damage as possible. But against cyclones, either skip the roaches or just keep them at home. The Terran still has to worry about the roaches even if you don't build them, as long as he sees the roach swarm. Now, keep injecting, build an additional overlord. At 3 minutes you should start your lair. I'm not really going to go too much with these roaches anyways, because it's only an AI. They'll probably just die anyways. My second overlord was placed over here, so I see if he moves out with Hellions or something like that. Right now I'm just droning. It's important to keep up with drones. At 3:30 you should be at 44 supply, if you did not lose any roaches. And around 3:40 is when I get 2 additional gases at my natural. You can get 1 gas or 2 gas, it doesn't really matter. Just frees up a bit of supply, and I'm still only droning right now. Trying to get out as many drones as I can. Droning. My lair is done. Now I need to build the spire. Should be built at like 4:05. A bit later if you take your gas a bit later. Then put drones into the gas. Take an additional gas in the main. The next 100 gas go into a roach warn and to roach speed. Now I'm on full gas saturation. Before I start building roaches, I send one overseer into his main. Right now I can either take a third base or build 2 additional queens. I'm feeling pretty confident, so I'm just going to take the third base. If you were scared of being attacked, you would build additional queens instead. But I think I can hold it like this. Try not to be supply blocked right now. I put a changing in his base so I can scout. Always make a changing with that first overlord and overseer and just try to scout. Right here, quick tip on scouting info. If you scout 2 barracks with this changeling, then you know it's going to be a 16 marine drop, especially if you see a starport with a reactor and a factory with either an add-on or not an add-on, doesn't really matter. If you see a third base, you know you will have a third base follow-up planned, so you can kind of play it a bit more greedy. If you see like 5 barracks, you know it's going to be a heavy all-in. If you see more than 1 factory, you know it's going to be a pretty heavy mech push. If you see a starport with tech lab, you need to check if he has a fusion core. If he does, then it's probably the liberator range push. If he has no fusion core, then it's most likely just speed banshees or cloaked banshees. At 520, your spire will finish. At that point I build about 3 corruptors. And then I'm just trying to defend. You might need to cancel your third base depending on how things go, but the roaches that you have should be enough. It's important that you have some creep spread in your main. Once you held the push, I'm just I don't really have a push coming because it's just an AI. You build 2 evolution chambers and your third base should finish around at the same time. Right here you see how quick the corruptors now are. So the corruptors are really good at shutting down the 16 marine drop. Make sure that you position your roaches smartly and try to figure where the opponent is going with his 16 marine drop. If he's not playing a 16 marine drop, then you can just kind of counter attack him or do stuff like that. If he's going for mech play, you can still use the same unit composition. It's a pretty solid one. You can also get upgrades for the corruptors if you feel like you should get them. Kind of depends on the playstyle. I sometimes get them, I sometimes don't. Kind of depends how well I'm in the game currently. The goal is to then max out around 830. You can max out quicker, but like 730 is the fastest you can max out, I believe. But that's not possible if your opponent is actually playing against you. You can do it against the AI, but it's going to be really hard against a real opponent. It's doing some pressure here. The beauty of this build is that you don't really need to worry about having too much gas. Like, you might look at my gas count right now and think, wow, you have way too much gas. You should try to get rid of some. But it doesn't really matter, because you will see it shortly. Like, my 1-1 timing is almost done, so I can be like, I'm just going to spend all my gas on Ravagers, and Ravagers are always nice to have. In a situation like this, I would for example have my corruptors over here, a couple roaches and stuff in my main base, then a small force at this base in case he tries to drop me there, and the rest of my army over there until I'm ready for a push out, at which point I will completely change the placement of all my units. Yeah. As you can tell, we're heading for our good old 8:30 timing with 2-2, with 1-1. I'm just gonna bunch up all my units, head across the map and kill him. And this build is pretty easy to execute. You don't really need to drone up your 4th base, just take drones from your main, like 7, 8, send them over there. And yeah, that is this is how you max out at like 8:30 with a 1-1 roach ravager push after opening with 3 roaches and defending with corruptor roach. It's not an issue if you take a bit longer to max out or stuff like that. You always have to kind of react on what your opponent is doing. But I hope this video helped you guys. I cannot cover everything in such a short video, but I tried to make certain that I mentioned all the key points of the build, so you guys can enjoy some ladder games and hopefully win some. If you can also add Hydralisks to the composition if you're more of a Hydra player. You can also go for Ling Bane Muta after the roaches. You can also build Mutalisks instead of Corruptors if you feel like you're not being dropped. You can also add Infestors to the mix. It's all up to you. It's just like a basic build order opening. So with that being said, thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye!